guys, this is Lilacspectrum, and I'm here for another book review. Now this book is kind of new. It's, I think, 2014 or 2015, I don't really know. 2012, wow, I'm way off. Not really, 4 years off, but oh well. So this book is called Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, and it's by Jesse Andrews, and it doesn't have a picture. Sad face. I hate when they don't have pictures because I really enjoy showing you guys the pictures of the people so you guys can see what they look like. So this is the cover of it, and I don't know if it's recently been updated or not because that's 4 years, so usually a couple of years they re-update them and resell them. And so this book is very interesting, and it says now a major motion picture, but I never saw this movie out in theaters. I never saw it unless it came out under another name. I never saw anything about this movie. I don't know, because I read the book, or I've read just about half of it. I'm going to explain that to you in a minute too, so that's how much I read. And I've really enjoyed this book. So first let's talk about the cover. The cover is set up in 3 different colors. There's blue, green, and red. And there's a guy up here, a guy here, a little black guy. He's actually kind of cute. They're both cute. And then there's this girl here that is laying on the ground. And it says Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl, of course. In the back just looks like this. Not much to it. There's some reviews of different people who have written books as well. And it's like a backwards version of the front, but without the people. This book says that it's $17.95 in the US, $21.95 in Canada. That's expensive. Oh my god. I did not buy this book. I rented it. I did not rent it. I checked it out from my local library. I usually don't have enough money. I say this every time in every book review and stuff like that. I don't usually buy these books. There are a few I have bought, and there's actually a little rant I want to do at the end of this video about a book I just bought, and maybe you guys can help me with that. I usually just kind of check them out from the library. So anyway, let's see. This book is and I'm gonna go ahead and just tell you about this book. Not this book exactly, but I'm gonna tell you about how this book reminds me. This book, and I wrote it down as soon as I started writing, it's very comical because it says Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl, and you're like, ooh, dead. It came out in 2012, which is right around the time that The Fault in Our Stars came out, which I cried my little eyeballs out. I have not finished this book, like I said. It's due back soon, so it'll be finished like in the next day or two. So I'm gonna try to finish it maybe either the next couple of nights or so. They're quick chapters. They're not hard. There are some chapters a little longer, but they're not too terribly bad chapters. So I feel like I could finish it in the next night or two. And of course, I'm thinking that's fine. Okay, here we go. I wrote this down, and this is the only little I usually write little notes to myself as I read books like this that I really get into, so that I can explain to you guys why I like it and what it reminds me of and this and that and the other. So here I sent myself an email saying this book reminds me of The Fault in Our Stars and a Swim the Fly mashup. Now I can't remember who wrote Swim the Fly, but it's this book. It goes Swim the Fly, Beat the Band, and I don't remember who wrote it. I can put it down in the links below, but I'll probably just link those 2 books. So if you like The Fault in Our Stars, this is a more comical version of that. If you like Swim the Fly, it's very similar. The guy makes jokes the same way that main character made jokes. And it also kind of reminds me of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series, just because the main character is just kind of goofy and just kind of out of it. Not out of it, but like out of place in his own little world. And I just feel like that's a mashup. So Swim the Fly, Fault in Our Stars / Diary of a Wimpy Kid mashup. It's like all 3 of those things got together and had a little baby, and it's very interesting. It's very comical, and you think talking about a young teen dying, it's about a girl who dies and you cry yourself to sleep the next night. But it's not really. This guy is narrating it, and he talks about him and his friend who like to make videos. They watched this movie when they were younger, and it just kind of affected their life, and they started recording videos. He liked this girl at one time, and he was kind of forced to like her, not really liked her, and then they just kind of get closer because she finds out she has cancer, and so this and that. Yeah. I don't know how it ends because I ain't done. So maybe on the description below I'll add some more little quotes and comments that I enjoyed. I probably won't. I'm so lazy, but we'll see. But I'm gonna try to finish it tonight. I'm very close to being done. The chapters are comprised of very short little tidbits of information. It's told like stories, which is of course what books are for. You tell them like stories, duh. It's told in little tidbits, little chunky chunks. Some are longer than others. He sometimes goes in a format of writing a movie or writing a play, and it's very interesting because he uses different kinds of medias to mostly just like writing lists and play-like things and different things like that. So it's not just a stick to paper and writing all the words and just like that. It's different kinds of formats, and some chapters are quicker to read because of this and that and the other, and blah blah blah. It's a very interesting book, and I really do love this cover. I worked in my high school's library my 12th grade year, my senior year, and that was not too long. I mean, that was like 3 years after this book came out, and they recently got it when I was doing it, and I kept saying, I need to check that out, I need to check that out, but I didn't, and I kicked myself so much. But now I'm glad I didn't, because I can review it for you guys. So I really do enjoy this book. I go in spurts with books, especially every book I read, just about. I'll be kind of iffy about it at the beginning, and then I'll just like get into it or not by like the first 5 chapters. I'm either in it or not. And sometimes even with this book Pure, that I just like last week uploaded a video on, I'll get into it and really like it, and then something happens and I just like, nope, I'm done with this book. And so, but this book so far has been good, and I don't think I'll be doing a Pure on this one. I think I'll end up really finishing this one either tonight or tomorrow. I'm gonna attempt it. We're gonna attempt it. There's not much more I have to say about it. I'd give it a 5-star. It's not, like I said, it's not too thick, but not too bad. So I really did enjoy the book, because it reminded me of so many different comedies I've read so far, and I love comedy. I love sad stories. I like comedy. I like scary. I like just about anything. There's nothing I don't like other than maybe really boring nonfiction. I don't think there's anything else I want to say other than I really enjoyed it. So as always, thanks for watching these videos, and thank you for continuing to support me as I read and review books. It takes a lot, and I'm really kind of getting behind with some of that stuff, but I just want to take a minute here to say thank you guys. And if there are any books that are similar to this with the comedy aspect, some books maybe that you've read that you really enjoyed because they were kind of comedy and you enjoyed them, leave them below, especially if you've written it. If you wrote the book, please leave it below, and a way I can get it or somehow find it. I would like to take a moment to thank you for watching this video, and also, what are your thoughts on Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl? Did you like it as much as I liked it? Because I really liked it, and I'd like to hear some up and down parts that you liked about it. There wasn't so much. The only, like, there's the good thing about it is it's comedic, so it's almost like a Tyler Perry movie. And I know so many white people are like, oh, I love Tyler Perry, but no, it's really, Tyler Perry does where he kind of says, he shows you a story, and then he gets to a sad part, but then immediately he goes, okay, this is something funny. And he kind of like, instead of making you cry your eyes out the whole movie, especially if it's a Medea movie, you have some comedic relief, and I think this book really kind of does it. The only bad thing about this book are there's some very, very interesting titles for the chapters, and there's also some very, very interesting things he says throughout the book. So I try not to take it out in public, just in case somebody happens to kind of like look over my shoulder or happen to look, and they say, ooh, you're reading a book about this. One example I will talk to you about, because I just want to warn you guys if you get this book. She talks about everything, literally everything, so if you have a problem with everything, just don't read it. This is not one. I'm flipping through and I'm wasting time. I'm getting tired. Like this chapter 6 is called Phone Sex, and it has nothing to do with phone sex. And then he does another chapter like Phone Sex Part 2, and so they're very interesting titled chapters. And like I said, if you're out in public and somebody happens to just kind of like, ooh, what you reading? Oh, phone sex. Oh, you know, it's like, and you're like, ah. I'm one of those people that get embarrassed by that kind of stuff out in public. I know probably people don't. I do, because I'm just really, really like embarrassed easily. So, so yeah, just reader beware. I would not suggest it to people that have problems with cursing, because there are some curse words, a lot of curse words. There are some very interesting situations he gets into, so if you have a problem with interesting situations, I won't go into details, but just think drugs sometimes, sex happens sometimes, and there's some very interesting ways he talks about stuff, and Earl especially has a potty mouth, so I don't have a problem with that kind of stuff when I'm reading, because I mean, if somebody wrote it, so they want you to read it. It's funny because the guy who's writing it is writing it like he's the main character, and he keeps saying, I don't know why you're still reading this, reader, you crazy goof, or something, and it makes me laugh because it feels like this guy is literally telling me this story, and I'm just like listening instead of just sitting here reading it. You know, and I feel like I'm connecting with that character a little bit better, so it's funny. And I can relate to this guy because he's kind of clumsy, and I'm kind of clumsy, so. And he's kind of bigger, and I'm kind of bigger, so I feel like a clums, so. And also, I want to do a little rant at the end of this video. I just said something about it earlier, so I'm going to go ahead and do it now. I went to Walmart the other day, and I love Walmart, and I hate Walmart. I love Walmart because they have good prices, and I hate Walmart because it can be kind of cray-cray sometimes. But what happened was, the other day, I went to Walmart, and I said, you know what, let's go down the book aisle, because I haven't been down the book aisle in a while. Let's see if there's anything I can find to read, because I always like a new book on my to-read shelf, even though I don't need any more. So, I went to Walmart, and I said, let's look. And I looked, and I saw that Me Before You book. Now, this book is, well, it's not many people know it's a book, but it's a new movie coming out called Me Before You, and this guy's like, I don't know if he got wrecked, I can't remember exactly all the details, but there's a book written on it, and I said, oh, I'd love to go see that movie. Now, of course, the movie is probably going to be me waiting for it to come out on DVD, or somehow Netflix or something, so I can watch it at home and cry at home. I hate going to a movie theater and crying, so I probably will end up waiting. So I said, you know what, I'd love to read this book, just to figure out, you know, what it's about. And it was like, and I'll probably rant on that video too, it was like $12 and like 98 cents. Now, there was two copies of the book. There was the original copy, which is a red copy with like the words all scripty on the front, and it's kind of basic, just like plain old book, whatever. That one was like $12.98 or something like that. I don't know how much exactly it was. It was like 20 cents off, or 5 cents off, or something, between 5 and 20 cents off the difference. And then there was the other version of the book, which had the movie poster as the cover of it, and it was like 10 cents cheaper. So I ended up saying, why am I gonna pay 5 cents, even though it's only 5 cents? I don't have that much money. 5 cents more to get the original copy. I don't know what it is about that. Why was that? I've never seen that ever in my life, I don't think, where they had the same book in just two different versions with two different covers, and one's cheaper. I've never seen that in my life. Maybe you guys can tell me. Maybe the company bought the rights to the book and published it under theirs as well. I don't know. Can you guys help me with that? Because I don't know. I've never heard of that. And so it was kind of confusing. Of course, I got the cheaper book, and I'm gonna read that sometime in the future, maybe 10 years down the road, but I will eventually read it. So anyway, rant's over. I'm done. So thank you guys for watching this video, and if there's any books you want me to read next that are similar to this book, Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl, please leave them below. If you read it and loved it, or hated it, or whatever you did with it, leave it below so I can understand why you hated it or loved it or didn't know what you felt about it. If you're wanting to read it, and whatever, tell me below, because I'd love to know. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.